In yet another court case victory for common sense, the UK's Office of National Statistics has been forced to rewrite its guidance to the census question, asking a person's sex following a victory for feminist campaigners at the High Court. The census comes out every 10 years and it gives policymakers a sense of what needs to be prioritised, what the nation actually looks like, what the makeup of the land is and what the healthcare needs are, and many other things. And it's a vital tool used by the government and government bodies and agencies and all the rest of it to see what needs to be spent where, no less than the NHS, of course, as well. And that's why this court case was important. You see, since 1801, the survey has asked a person if you're male or female. But in 2011, people were allowed for the first time to tick a box for whatever gender identity they felt like, as opposed to what they were or what they are. This obviously completely distorts data used to actually plan services for men and women. For example, women obviously have very different healthcare requirements from men. Fair play for women, the group that's arguing that actually, in pandering to a very vocal minority of some trans activists, not all, to ebb and flow, to chip away at what constitutes a woman, what makes a woman, have actually redefined the meaning of sex and sort of deny the immutable truth of biological sex. So the guidance to the biological sex question on the census said that if you're considering how to answer, use the sex recorded on one of your legal documents, such as a birth certificate, gender recognition certificate, or a passport. And Fair Play for Women actually argued that actually only a birth certificate or a gender recognition certificate can actually record your legal sex, and that the ONS was unlawfully allowing self-ID through the back door. And ultimately, folks, as I've said many times before, if sex doesn't exist, single-sex spaces don't exist. You know, at women's refuges, changing rooms. And as I've argued before, if sex doesn't exist, same-sex attraction doesn't exist. If sex doesn't exist, we can't possibly hope to get a clear picture of the makeup of the nation. And Mr. Justice Swift ordered that the online guidance should make clear that the question can only be answered by reference to a birth certificate or a gender recognition certificate. That's why, folks, I say this is yet another victory for common sense. Trans people are free to, I think, be accepted by society, by wider society. I'm sure most Brits don't give a damn what you wear, what you look like, what you prefer to dress like, and all the rest of it. But we do care when you start to try and attack the English language, when you start to try to change the definition of things, and when actually the ONS, a government body that's doing such important work for ensuring that we all know what the makeup of the country looks like, we can't allow a really vocal minority of activists to push self-ID through the back door. It's not on. I'm Darren Grimes for Reasons UK.